everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I had to, put up here with my uncle's cousin, brother, sister, you know, told me about the Switch too. So, I just put up here so y'all can see it, which I know y'all heard it here first. Yeah.
Oh man, boy, we finna get in so much trouble. Andre, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. But also his auntie's mother's sister's best friend
Hmm.
also confirmed the same thing.
There you go. There you go. The design and everything, they just made it, a little bit slimmer, and they got like the circle pad stuff, like the DS, doing the thing.
It's capable of
Yep,
16K.
and it's going to run at 60 frames per second,
There you
4K,
go. There you
and
go.
handheld, and burn your hands off.
I was gonna hold that off to the later end of the show, but I appreciate you putting on them.
Melt your skin right off your bones.
Exactly.
all for innovation. All for innovation. All right, so this is our annual first half of the year in review. So before we get into that, what are you guys playing? Me personally, if y'all been watching the channel, I did jump into Legend of the Heroes Trails into Reverie on Friday. Did the first 2 hours of that. I am going to go back and finish Trails of Cold Steel 4, but I just hadn't had a chance to yet. So I played that, and I've played playing Tears of the Kingdom, going through the actual story quest stuff now because it's time for me to do that. I done played around a little bit too much, and I need to focus on getting the story knocked out. My nephew don't went on to beat Tears of the Kingdom, and I can't have that. So there's that. Jack, what about you? What you been playing, man?
Tiny Ken, God of War, 2K every now and again, Tears of the Kingdom, of course, and that's about it for right now. Especially before Pikmin 4 drops, because I've been playing that demo too. Because apparently there's some cool stuff. Like, let's say for example, I guess you finished a demo at one of the stores, or I think you can do it on the Switch. I'm not entirely sure, but you get like 200 platinum points if you complete the demo and take a picture of the QR code. Yeah, so I mean, they really pushing for you to play the game. But yeah,
that's good. I mean, more demos should do that. Like, they should actually give you stuff for playing the demo. Like, I do like when they, like with Asano, with Team Asano, when they like, look, it carries right over. So we're giving you the prologue of the game. So the demo is the prologue. So at least you won't have to do these 3 hours in the game when you get it. So
it makes sense. I mean, because if I'm spending that much time in a game, in a demo, transfer it over. Because the one game that hit me pretty hard that did that was Dragon Quest Builders. When it came out, had a blast. Like, spent 3 hours and was like, oh, this doesn't carry over. I'm like, okay, well, I won't be picking this up.
Like, the funny thing about like Dragon Quest 11, they've carried the first 10 hours over. I'm like, that's how you do it. That's how, because everybody knows that game's clearly over 100 hours.
Right.
So yeah, not making me replay through the first 10 hours is a godsend. So there's that. All right, Andre, man, what you been playing?
Well, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom. I did jump on Minecraft Legends for a little bit. It was okay. It's all right. I think it would be better if I was playing with more people. Playing it solo, it just doesn't feel. It feels like you need to have other people.
So it's
kind of like that's the game you need to squad up for.
It's kind of like Dungeons in that respect, then, huh?
Yeah, but from a third person perspective instead of isometrical.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. I have.
Other than that, I've been playing some fighting games, but that's kind of obvious.
Okay, I have. Minecraft Legends was on my radar. I just like do it. I can't right now. So it's way too much. I can't right now. And as you can see, Tears of the Kingdom has been taking up most of my time. So yeah, because that first part of the game is a time sink until you get everything to where you want to get it, and then it becomes, once you get your gear up to snuff and you beat some of the story quest stuff, then you can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
But until then, yeah boy. So
it becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah, it really does, man. It really does. So, first half of the year, the way we're going to do this, we're not going to go through every game that came out from January to June. That would take forever.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to give a game that we recommend for each of the big three, a game that we wouldn't recommend for each of the big three, our game of the year so far, and what we feel was a hidden gem on each of the big three. So that's how we're going to handle this, just so it won't take forever. I think last year it took forever for us to get through this.
Right.
Here, starting this bad boy off. I'm going to start with Nintendo. I'll start with the game that I would recommend.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of games that came out in the first 6 months of the year.
Right.
Y'all already know what my game of the year is.
I mean, that's pretty simple.
I shouldn't even have to tell you.
That's probably around the board.
Yeah. But I will say that this is a game that I would recommend to people just because it's fun. I love the art style, and the story ain't that bad, and that's Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost People.
Okay.
That game it's something about that game that just it works. Like,
okay,
it does take a little getting used to having to control the demon and Cereza at the same time because you have to use the left and right stick. But once you get that down, the game is fun. The puzzles aren't bad. They're not crazy puzzles. Like they ain't trying to hurt your head. So that's one that I would actually recommend to people if they haven't had a chance to play it, just because I think it works. I got to give Platinum Games, that was a smart idea. That was a smart idea to like change it up a little bit. I don't mind if a game series that's gotten popular decides to, in between their waiting to do their main game, if they splinter off and do something else in another genre or something.
They
like
all
that.
should do that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I shouldn't see the same game over and over again. Try something different, especially if you've already gotten the main series out the way. Because we know had this came out before Bayonetta 3, people would have had a fit.
Oh yeah.
People would have shit on it.
Yeah.
They would have been pissed off.
That's exactly what happened with Travis Touchdown.
Yeah. And I didn't even hate that Travis Strikes. I didn't even hate it, but I understood why people were upset.
Yeah,
I understood.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, I understood. But if you played it, it goes right into 3. So you kind of
right.
I mean, people was mad, but that game helped fund No More Heroes 3.
That's true. That is true. All right, so Jack, what about you? What game would you recommend from the first half of the year from Nintendo?
I mean, pretty much the go-to. I thought that we were all gonna say, and that was Tears of the Kingdom. And that's solely due to the fact that the game that I would have picked is due to come out here in the next couple of days, and that's Pikmin 4. And that's just solely one, I got a chance to play the demo. 2, if you haven't played Pikmin 4, there's no real need to play any games previous in the series. Because they're going to be, I'm not going to say a lot different, but they're going to be different from what you're going to get out of this game. So, like, for example, the simple concept of having the camera angle a little bit different, having this dog, what's his name? Not Poochie, but I forget the name of the dog. Yeah. But I'm thinking of the Poochie from Yoshi. But you have the dog. It seems like it's more mission-based from the demo. So, I mean, because when you play the other games, it's a matter of like trying to collect as much as you can before nightfall hits, and you kind of go from there with it. But this one, I'm recovering a lot of the rescue force. We're trying to get, everything we need as far as the ship is concerned. Still trying to figure out where in the world Olimar is, because at this point, I would say to leave that dude as a loss. But
he's still in Smash Brothers.
Right. I was like, how you in Smash Brothers? But then for like the past 2 games we've been looking for your ass. Like, but yeah, yeah, I would say that, and then having like the underground area that doesn't have a time limit, which is pretty cool. So the time stands still while you're underground, and going through these new Pikmin, and just with that always kind of being like the strategic type game too. Like you gotta really, really plan out your day and really have like the right number of Pikmin and type of Pikmin too, because you can only hold so much until you kind of expand your capacity of what you can have like the other games. But just from the demo alone, I mean, it's got me locked in. I wasn't quite sure if I was gonna appreciate your RJ. Yeah, Ochi. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the demo for sure, and that'll be a day one pickup. And I would say for anybody that even if you haven't played Pikmin, you're into something that's I would say is relaxing, kind of like a strategy type game that you can get into. So that'll be my go-to.
So my question to you would be: so basically, what you're telling me is Ganondorf, when he did the upheaval, he started affecting other games.
Pretty much, because pretty much. Again, I think that the best comment I've seen about this game is really, I don't know, is a nice game to play, but you start realizing there's nobody here. Like this is like an apocalypse type thing because you're going around collecting stuff that people left behind. You don't see anything other than these
that's when you start looking at some of the lore of this game, you're like, I know good and well the ESRB didn't play this game.
No, not even. Or either they don't dig too deep into it.
Yeah.
Nah.
But,
I mean, they look at the aesthetic and be like, oh, E for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kirby, for example. If you ever got to the midway point of a Kirby game and realized this is Machiavellian horror, like, what in the world is going? You got body horror happening. Like, when did this stop being cute and cuddly? And that's in like every Kirby game. That's all like, yeah, y'all ain't play this.
But yeah, that would definitely be my go-to outside of RC, like because RCS would have been, but I think I got burnt out with RCS pretty early on. Trying to collect the Pokédex, but I even though I haven't touched this full game, playing previous Pikmin and being a fan of Pikmin and seeing the art style, well, not art style, but the way they changed some things up in this game, I really enjoyed it.
And they released the whole thing, so the whole thing is available on Switch now. So there's that. I mean, if you haven't had the chance to play it. So, all right, Andre, what about you, man?
I mean, well, obviously my game of the year candidate is Tears of the Kingdom because it brings out everybody's tears for the kingdom. But as far as like, I mean, I don't really think I have anything from this year that's a hidden gem. Now, I did pick up a couple games that are older that kind of surprised me a little bit. Like there's this one game that's Paratropic that just messes with your brain. If you want to play something that will mess with you psychologically, pick that up.
Okay.
And you can knock it out a single playthrough out in like 2 to 3 hours. Okay. And it's not like it's an uber expensive game, but it'll screw with you because it's like PS1 graphics on the Switch. Something that people complain about, but a game that actually does it on purpose.
Right.
That and if for my main recommended Metroid Prime Remastered, hands down.
Okay.
Besides Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid
Prime Remastered, yeah, because that was one that came out of nowhere, and they shadow dropped it, and I got a feeling we getting 2 and 3 shadow dropped the same way. So I just have a feeling. So my staying with Nintendo, the game that I would not recommend. And this one kind of hurts me to my heart a little bit because I am such a Tales of fan. And, that's Tales of Symphonia Remastered. Now, I will say this. They did release the patch. They did. It fixed some stuff.
Okay. They don't fix everything.
They don't fix everything.
Okay.
It fixed most of the main stuff. Most of the main issues. Now, the problem that I have with it is because I had the PS3 version of Tales of Symphonia Remastered. They did not change nothing. They ported that same thing over. That's how I'm like, y'all didn't fix nothing. Y'all needed to fix anything. Y'all just basically tried to do a 1-to-1. And that's why people were calling them out. I'm like, dude, if you played the PS3 version, like it's the same issues that we had on the PS3 version.
Right.
And I understand people were mad about like, oh, it's not why didn't they use the GameCube version? Because the GameCube version wasn't the complete version of the game. The complete version of the game was on PS2 and PS3. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But they did not. I think they just straight up did a straight up 1-to-1, and that didn't work. So for me, the game that I wouldn't recommend, like I said, I know they released the patch because I did play it, and it fixed some stuff, but there's still a lot. There's still some other stuff that they need to go back and take another look at. But yeah, that's the one game I can't recommend to anybody right now. Is Tales of Symphonia Remastered, and that hurts my heart because that's like one of my favorite GameCube games. That's like in my top 10 GameCube games.
Yeah, I'm about to say you talk about the Tales series a lot.
Dude, I love the Tales series. Like when everybody was on Final Fantasy, I'm like, man, screw Final Fantasy. Give me Tales of Grinding any day of the week over Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy had like 2 good games that I liked.
Oh, okay.
Out of that whole thing. So and
the 7 wasn't one.
And y'all know how I feel about 15. 15 pissed me off. 15 made me mad to my heart. That's why I was like, I do not care about 16 in the slightest.
Right.
So because 15 just pissed me off all the way off.
Oh wow.
But yeah, dude, that well, ask Vicky, she'll tell you. We both got mad at the same time.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. But okay, what's a game that you wouldn't recommend that came out for Nintendo in the first half of the year?
I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit on this one and go to December. Because I really didn't have anything for like the first half of this year that I wouldn't recommend. But one kind of similar to you, this one kind of punched me in my stomach, and it was Sports Story.
Yeah, because that's the one everybody was looking forward to.
Yeah, because Golf Story, like that was a hidden gem. Like that, I love that game. It really is really simple, really straight to the point. Going around doing these missions. The only thing I would have changed in that game is finding ways to help you understand what you have to do next in that game. Because I walked away from it for like a couple of weeks, came back and have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm supposed to do. So then I think also with that game too, there's something similar that's in Sports Story. Some of the missions are broken to where like you are set to go and do these missions, but nothing's triggering the mission to start. And while that was like one mission on Golf Story, Sports Story has a lot of those. And I picked it up after the the patch came out, and it still didn't fix everything. And so it's still a pretty bad game. It was poorly paced. I think they added too many sports into the game. Really, to me, I don't think that really made too much sense. Just kind of continue Golf Story. I don't know why you went to Sports Story. Yeah. And if you're going to add more sports, at least just do 1 or 2 more and not a whole lot more like that. That was crazy. But I would say Sports Story, even with any sale or the patches that's come out, I wouldn't touch it.
All right, gotcha. All right, what about you, Andre? Anything you wouldn't recommend from Nintendo for the first 6 months of the year?
Shoot. Honestly, I don't really have an answer for this.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm thinking, and I guess it's mostly just because I haven't run into anything that was horrible,
right?
Per se.
Gotcha.
No, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Well, you know what I wouldn't recommend? The Final Fantasy VII game if they stuck on the Switch because they couldn't put together a whole Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah,
that would be my recommendation for not play.
Yeah, because they really shouldn't have done it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. So, yeah, but okay, so y'all all know what our game of the year is. It's all the same thing. It's Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah, that hands down. I mean, like to the people that were saying it's the same game. Clearly, you didn't play it because it's not the same game. Like Haru don't even feel the same. And on top of that, not in any of the promotional material did we know anything about the depths.
All right.
The only thing I am mad about is that they ain't no Deadhead or Bongo Bongo down there, and that was a missed opportunity.
Okay.
Because
DLC is possible.
Yeah, I mean, even as in Ocarina of Time when you went in the well, Deadhead was down there. I'm like, I don't know, but come on, dude, how did you not see this? You was on the team.
Well, look, they did say they didn't really look at older games to get inspiration.
There ain't no way.
So he might have looked. He might have forgot.
I'm finna say there ain't no way. You brought back Lionel's and Gleox. You looked at something.
But they were fresh though. Those were fresh.
No, I mean, but like they were in previous games. I'm like, there ain't no way in the world he gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I ain't looking at other games. Okay, then why you got this?
I know, but what I'm saying is they were freshly in Breath of the Wild. That was probably why they were on his mind.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't mind. I would just love to see like how they would go about doing. But I will say this because it has been coming up a lot, and I wish Shadow was here. It has been coming up a lot. Like this game and Tears of the Kingdom is clearly what the very first 86 game was supposed to be. So
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if later on down the line they do a game, but they have the Ocarina of Time monsters in it.
Right.
Because the monsters in here are basically like the mini bosses are basically mini and sub bosses are basically stuff from Zelda 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it. Like it ain't nothing from Link to the Past, it ain't nothing from Ocarina or Majora or anything like that, which makes me believe that they're probably gonna do that later.
Probably.
Which would be fine by me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Our game of the year for Nintendo is Tears of the Kingdom, hands down. I mean,
no questions there.
Yeah, I don't even know why that's even a question at this point. Hidden gem though, there is a hidden gem that I have for me. Mm-hmm. Now, most people like say this ain't a hidden gem because the first one was off the chain, but I think this is actually better than the first one. I do still need to finish it because it came out in a heavy month, and we got too much stuff to play, man.
True.
To be fair, and that's Octopath Traveler 2.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not really a hidden gem, but this fixes the problems I had with Octopath Traveler 1 to an extent.
Okay.
So it does give you vibes of that old school SNES. We don't care that this game is hard. You just got to learn how to play it. Right. So it is what it is. Yeah. But it is fun. The music is amazing. Y'all know I have a soft spot for that HD 2D.
Oh yeah, ever since they showed it.
Yeah, I got a soft spot. Plus, like the stories in here, like they are just good. Like Ikari's story, Throne's story. It's just they do a real good job.
Mess with you.
Yeah, they do a real, especially the Black Mage. I can't remember his name. The scholar. His story is jacked up. I'm like, bro, I don't blame you for wanting to kill this dude. I want to shoot this dude. So,
dude, I understand, bro.
What that dude did to him, I'm like, bro, I completely understand. Get him,
right?
Go get him. When you see it, you're like, bro, really? It was not that serious,
right?
It really wasn't that serious. So. Yeah, there's that. I would say Octopath Traveler 2 just because Team Asano has been getting better and better with each release they do.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Like from Octopath Traveler 1 to Live Alive to Triangle Strategy to this, I'm like they're getting better and better every time they put out an HD 2D game. So
and at all of those, I've only played the first Octopath Traveler. Like that's the one thing I hate. I don't have the time to sit down and enjoy these games anymore. They're time zappers. Because as much as I wanted to get into Triangle strategy, and then wanted to get into Octopath 2, like those games just take time.
Because you have to grind.
You got
to have a choice. You don't have a choice. Yeah. Like there ain't no cheat. Like Zelda, you can cheat some. You can cheese some stuff.
Right.
Especially with auto build. Auto build, yeah, buddy. So let me attach this claymore to this spinning helicopter and just slap a lot on death while I just sit on this mountain and watch him die. But yeah, that's one of those games you can't do that with. So yeah, you're gonna have to sink some time into it. Do you have one that you think is a hidden gem, Jack?
I wouldn't say it's a hidden gem, but I know a lot of people don't really touch the series like that, and that was Monster Hunter Rise. Like,
okay,
and I know a lot of people got into it when it went to the other two consoles because it was running at 60 frames per second, and like, but it's one of those games that even though it was made for the Switch, it just harps on what everybody here says, especially Shadow, of if you make the top console the main console that you build from, everything else will fall in play. Because even when you look at was it Monster Hunter World.
Mhm.
People prefer Rise over World, and
But that
Rise,
surprised me. That surprised me.
yeah,
And
like
I,
Rise looks nowhere near World.
yeah, Rise on the Switch at that. It's like on the Switch they prefer
Yeah.
it. I'm like, wait, what?
Because it just makes sense. But I mean, because the Monster Hunter was never supposed to be like this big graphical showcase.
No.
Like it really
Nope.
wasn't. And it just kind of gets this point across. It's a slow paced game. It's not this super fast game. Because I've even tried games that try to replicate it in the form of like God Eater.
Mhm.
And God Eater is a good game. It's just, I don't know, it's something about it that's just missing. And I just like Monster Hunter. I don't know if it's because I'm biased, whatever the case may be. But I've been giving God Eater for free multiple times, and I'm just like, it's just not doing it for me. I don't know what was that other game that was supposed to be Monster Hunter like that just came out recently.
Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened to Wild Hunt. People just stopped talking about it.
It just disappeared.
Yeah.
But it also seemed like a game that was centered more around you building traps instead of you just attacking the monster.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, Rise for sure. It is definitely my go-to. I love the slow pace of it. Most people don't, but I wouldn't say it was a hidden gem, but for most it would be because a lot of people don't touch Monster Hunter.
Yeah, especially like that anyway.
No.
All right, Andre, what about you?
Well, mine is one that I know barely anybody's going to have touched, and I put you on it. That's Ninja Savior.
Oh yeah, Ninja Saviors.
I wish
Ninja Saviors.
Okay.
I only wish that game had online multiplayer. But outside of that, solid game, great to play. Like, and if you got somebody at your place with you, 2-player co-op real quick, run through those levels. That game's fun. Top to bottom.
Yeah, especially if you like side scrollers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look, anybody interested? It's only $20 on the eShop.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Especially since Capcom won't give us Final Fight.
Capcom been dancing around that one for a minute. Streets of Rage 4 came out and they got silent on the Final Fight.
I'll talk about it. They won't talk to nobody about that.
But you think they would do a follow-up though? I mean, you see what Streets of Rage 4 did.
You saw what Shredder's Revenge did.
Yeah.
You would think though that they would go right to .mu and be like, hey, look.
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all throw something together for us?
Nope.
I mean,
nah, we good. We're gonna throw this in Street Fighter 6. Wait, what? Okay. All right, bro. Whatever. All right, so
still missing stuff.
Yeah. All right, so let's scoot on over to Microsoft, the company everybody hates. This is gonna be kind of interesting because some of these games I've played, but I've played over to other people's cribs. So
right.
That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to do this because I don't have my Series X yet. So that's how I play.
Okay.
Like Hi-Fi Rush, which is the game I would recommend.
Still want to play that. I still want to play that game.
I would recommend that even though I think it's on the wrong system.
It is on the wrong system. Look like
that is a silent release that I think people would enjoy if you can let yourself go and just have a good time with the outrageousness of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think people would enjoy it because that's my game I would recommend on the Xbox.
Okay.
I just that's the one I would have to recommend. Like I said, that was a shadow drop back in January.
Mm-hmm.
I got to play it and I'm like, dude, this is fun. This is too much fun.
Right.
Because the story doesn't make any sense, and I love it for that. And it's a fun game. It's
what games are supposed to be.
It reminds me of Sunset Overdrive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was going to say it is in the same category as Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah. So that's the game that I would recommend. So what about you? I will start with Andre for this one.
Okay.
I was actually going to say the same thing.
Okay, you can say the same thing because
I ended up playing it through because of Game Pass. I was playing through the xCloud and it was running pretty fine. Well, for me, I think I had 1 or 2 hiccups with it. But other than that, it played very well.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Jack, what about you?
Mine is going to be more, I would say it's a re-release.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Like I
Okay.
like I ran through that game twice, like when it originally came out, and then when this version came out with all the enhancements and the fixes that they need to do with the game.
So they did fix it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Okay.
so they fixed it. Now, the only thing I don't care for with the game is how no matter where your level is, when you go to these other areas, the enemies are going to match your level
Mhm.
everywhere you go. And then, of course, like after a while, those Dragon Balls become very useless. But other than that, I mean, it's a fun game. I mean, the combat's fun. Having the different characters, because even when I finished the game, I went back to level up Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, because I mean they were very low power. Because I had my main three: Vegeta, Gohan, and Goku, that I just ran through. But I mean, it's a fun game. I mean, definitely if you love Dragon Ball, I mean, to me, it's a no brainer. But yeah, that'll definitely be mine for Xbox.
Okay, cool. Well, I will say this, I have gone on record as saying I will never buy that game, and I mean that, because they lied. Bandai Namco lied.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
They straight up said it couldn't run, and then all of a sudden, 80 million sold, and now all of a sudden you can make stuff run. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Just say you didn't make the game for the system, please.
That's all you got to do, and I don't know why they're so weird about it.
Yeah, don't sit up there and be like, "Oh, this can't possibly ever run." You said that about fighters, and that was a bold-faced lie. So I'm like, just don't say it. Just be like, hey.
I mean, I know why they so weird about it because of these contracts that everybody's setting up. That's why.
Or the fact that they didn't want to get a phone call from who over at Sony.
We couldn't put it on there because we was told not to. We got a hefty check to not do it for a little while.
Yeah, because I would say you can go that route, or let's keep playing this dumb route of, ooh, we made it work. Like we thought we couldn't, and we worked very hard, and we pulled it off. Now go buy it.
Bullshit! You were able to do it.
Say that because we know they got a kid because they helped with Smash Bros. So you can't say that.
Right. True.
Freaking Namco.
Hey.
Anyway, that being said, let's say so. Okay, Game of the Year for Microsoft.
Oh, we're gonna skip past the disappointment.
We're gonna do that next.
Okay.
So, game that now this is gonna be a little bit funny for me because there's two. One of them I haven't played, but I've seen enough of y'all play them.
Mm-hmm.
Play it. That I think it probably would be. Of course, it's a third-party game.
Of course.
and the other one is a game series that I think they changed it. Sega changed it up, and it works like a charm. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of at odds here. I think y'all know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
It's either Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, or Like a Dragon.
Yep.
For me.
Yeah.
If I was you, I'll go with Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like Hogwarts is good, but it's one of those things to where I don't know. Like a Dragon just had that appeal. Now it does wear thin on you after a while because once when the jokes run out, it kind of dries out. But nonetheless, I mean, I would have gone with that one if I was you. But
it's a fun game.
Yeah, it is.
Fun. And that's how I kind of measure my game of the years. If I'm having fun,
true.
Mm-hmm. If I'm having a good time, then and everything plays smooth, I'm golden. So yeah, I'll probably go with Like a Dragon then.
Okay.
All right, Jack, what about you?
I would have to go with like a Dragon. For like the game of the year for Xbox with me, because I really enjoyed that game. I was never really like a big fan of the Yakuza games. I mean, I've seen them and people they rant and rave about them, and I've played them because I mean, hell, they all on Game Pass. Yeah. So it's like okay, it's kind of hard to miss them. So whenever I saw Like a Dragon do like that switch up to where they went turn based, I was like, okay, and it wasn't like your typical turn based. They really like there's elements to it to where the enemy can be in front of you while you're going to this next one, and you can attack them, and got the different elements of how you can make people poison, dizzy, this, that, and the third. Like I like the game. Like I really enjoyed the game. So that'll be my game of the year for Xbox because they didn't have anything that they made that I preferably care about.
Yeah, true. All right, Andre, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to be sad. I ain't got nothing.
It's tough.
Those if we going with anything they've released outside of High Five Rush, everything's been mediocre.
Mhm.
Like,
That's true.
and I'm definitely not giving them a third party. I ain't doing it. Nope.
You say you're not gonna
I
give
ain't
him a
being
third
nice
party?
like that.
I mean,
I'm not giving them a third party. I ain't being nice like
I don't blame you.
well, what else can you give them? Like, there's only one
Not a
thing.
damn
that.
thing.
If anything, if I'm going to be forced, then Minecraft Legends, because it actually is a competent game.
Oh, okay.
And the fact that it is
It is first party. Yeah, it's
it is
theirs.
technically, even though they let it go everywhere, it's technically theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They own
but that's the thing. Like, that's about the only thing besides Hi-Fi Rush that released in decent condition with them. So I'm like, I don't know what the hell y'all doing, but y'all gotta fix it.
Yeah. Oh, because that's why I waited for a game you wouldn't recommend, because this game got us ratio.
Okay. I already know what you're talking about.
So, if any Xbox fans are on here, I'm gonna go on and tell y'all this right now. I don't care if you get mad. Redfall. I just don't care. Redfall, I wouldn't recommend it. I don't care if you get mad.
It is.
Go ahead. Go ahead, stay mad. I don't kiss nobody's ass. Just
I mean, look,
that game sucks.
they can be mad about the jokes, but the jokes ended up being true, so it's not our fault.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
on
our
them.
fault. Yeah. And from what I understand, they still haven't fixed it yet.
Probably haven't.
From what I understand.
Well, I haven't attempted to find out, so I don't know.
Neither.
I asked one of my friends, did they ever get the patch? He's like, no. He's like, it's all right, but it ain't patched. I'm like, So yeah, it's Redfall. It's a game I wouldn't recommend. Wow. I was going back and forth between that and Gollum just because I just thought it was funny how horrible Gollum is.
Ooh.
But I was like, nah, Redfall pissed me off. Kind of like how the fans of Batman pisses everybody off.
Yeah.
Batman himself.
Yeah.
But Redfall decided the Arcane Studios decided to do that. I'm like, y'all should have. I don't know if y'all should have asked for more time or what. I don't know.
What they should have done is not make it freaking Left 4 Dead with vampires. What they should have done is make it a single player game and add some depth to it, and not make an online game.
Why is it that High Voltage could get Hunter the Reckoning right, but all these knockoffs can't do it?
I have no freaking.
Y'all notice that?
No
Have
idea.
y'all noticed that? Because I've noticed. I'm like this. Back for Blood. I'm like they try to take that Hunter the Reckoning template, but I'm like
they screw it up.
It would be more bombastic and they'd have more fun with it, but I don't think they're having fun making this.
I don't think so either. No. But this seems like an idea that used to be hot a couple years ago, and they just took a while to get it out. So it's like, oh, okay, people want this whole Left 4 Dead, and then they tried to throw like a vampire spin on it, but they were too late to the party. Plus, the game sucks. But
it is worse than Back 4 Blood.
Wow.
Yeah. And like I said, the main reason why I said what I said during that presentation was because I played Back 4 Blood, and I'm like, bro, this is not good. Like it had issues with always online, with being always online. And I wish people stop doing that. True. I'm like, stop trying to make these games always online. Yeah. Especially over here in America, because in America, our IT infrastructure sucks as a country as far as like consistency is concerned. So, like, bro, come on, man. Just stop doing it. Your grand vision ain't feasible right now.
Right.
It just ain't. So, yeah. Redfall would be the game I wouldn't recommend at this point to people. I just wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I was going back and forth between that and Gollum, but I haven't personally played Gollum. I just thought it was funny how everybody was ragging on Gollum.
It didn't even look like a fun game. Like when they announced it, I'm like, whose idea was this? And why would I want to play as Gollum?
Yeah, I don't want to play as Gollum. If you give me a Lord of the Rings game, you're gonna force me to play as the dude that's high?
Yeah, it's like, okay, here's a Dragon Ball game, and we want you to play as Emperor Pilaf. I don't give
Like,
a shit.
no,
Like, I don't.
like, I'm not
Who
playing as
cares?
him.
Oh, that insult hurt.
I mean, it's the truth, though.
Like, who cares?
It is the truth. I mean,
Like, I know Gollum from just saying "my precious." That's all I know
Yeah,
him from. Like, no one cares.
he's an addict. Like,
Yeah,
why?
like
Why do
He's
you want to play
literally
as
an addict.
playing Tyrone Biggums. This is all.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
basically an addict. So I'm like, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So the hidden gem. Now this one, I did get a chance to play a little bit, and it does have its fair share of problems, but I still enjoy it because it's just a fun Star Wars game. That's Jedi Survivor.
Really?
Yeah, I actually had fun with it.
I'm about to say, I'm not hearing too many good things about this.
No,
about this
you're
one.
not gonna hear too many good things
Oh,
about
okay.
it. But like me, and this is coming from a casual Star Wars fan, I'm enjoying the story beats of it,
Okay.
and I'm actually enjoying some of the stuff. Now, I've seen a lot of the glitches and some of the crazy stuff that's happened. I've only had one thing happen to me,
Right. Okay.
so I don't know how other people are triggering all this stuff. But I've only had one thing happen where I did a jump and I was froze there. I was like, what the hell? But it's kind of like, remember what happened to us when we was testing out Fight Forever?
Mm-hmm.
For them 5 seconds.
And just for the 5 seconds, it
it
tripped
kind
out.
of like happened like that. I'm like, what the hell? But other than that, I really didn't have an issue. But I wasn't trying to do crazy stuff either. I was planning my stuff out. I wasn't trying to walk into lightsaber blaze and trying to take out 30 people at once. I wasn't trying to do all that. I was trying to be strategic about my stuff.
Right.
So I've enjoyed it. I can't wait to like get my hands on it and like finish it because I did like Fallen Order.
Okay.
I did enjoy Fallen Order, so I am a little bit biased because I did enjoy Fallen Order. The other one that I wanted to play but I didn't get a chance to was Wulong.
Yeah, that's the one that I want to pick up, and I don't know, something's just not pointing me towards it.
Well, I'm waiting for a sale.
That too, yeah.
So I'm waiting for it because I know this stuff goes on sale. So I'm waiting for a sale for that one. That's just me. But I did get it. Like I said, I did get a chance to play Jedi Survivor, and I enjoyed it. I would, if you're a Star Wars fan, you probably already picked it up. Because now this is one of those ones that I'm like, y'all should have made this a movie. Y'all should have made this a movie. Like, I understand. I'm glad y'all made it a game, but you really should have made this a movie.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
That would be mine. What about you? You got one? Hidden gem?
Yeah, we already did a hidden gem, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
So we need to go to PlayStation. All right.
Oh, well, we didn't do the scum of the earth for Xbox.
Oh yeah, you didn't do yours.
No, we did.
We did a disappointment.
Yeah, you didn't do yours.
Okay. Well, my disappointment, which was a heavy one, was One Piece Odyssey. I watched. Yeah, I watched that one as they were talking about it. They were ramping it up, and I'm like, all right, cool. This looks good. I've done the warrior style games. You know,
Which are excellent.
They are excellent games. They have a great fit. And then I go to play this one, and I'm like, what in the hell? Like, I don't know. Like I get it. Like a lot of these games try to have like some type of open world, linear world aspect to it. But if there's nothing to do in the world, why am I doing this? Like, I'm walking around in a very one straight shot situation. I pick up things here and there just to kind of trigger story or either pick up some items here and there. But in reality, you're not traversing anywhere. The fights are cool, but you're not really traversing anything on the outskirts of the fight. So if it was just purely fighting, kudos. But the aspect of the game in its entirety, I'm just like, and it is starting to, and maybe it's just me too. It's starting to get that Dragon Ball feel to it, even though this was an original story. It wasn't like, okay, we're pulling from the arc. It's one of those things where you kind of get burned out in One Piece because they are already going too long in the damn tooth anyway. But
yeah,
it's like,
but been over 20 years, man. I'm like, dude, you need to wrap this up.
Yeah, they got to wrap that up. But nonetheless, I mean, this one was kind of disappointing. I expected more from this game.
Have you ever played the Unlimited R games from like PS3, Wii U. See, that's why I didn't pick it up because it reminded me of that. And I played Unlimited R, and I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah,
I don't like y'all would have came out better just doing a rehash of the arcs instead of trying to make your own thing, but
story.
using the environments from the. And I don't know. That's why I'm like, I like the Warriors games because that like actually fits them better than anything else. Because if you watch the anime, they do fight like a lot of henchmen, a lot of faceless dudes. So that actually works.
It fits perfectly for that type of anime. But I mean, honestly, when you look at these type of games, there's only so much you can do, and that's why I don't really care for those titled licensed games, even in a sense of like simulation sports. There's only so much you can do. And if they let you be creative in the sense of like, for example, Dragon Ball with Xenoverse, getting into that whole time patrol aspect of it, and they let you venture out, because I mean, hell, they even got Dragon Ball Heroes still running, to where that one goes well and above and beyond of what you can and what you can't do. But One Piece just seems to be stuck to its roots of what you can do with the characters. I don't know if that's a creative choice, but honestly, between these and the Naruto crosses Boruto games, I mean, it is what it is at this point.
At this point, yeah. Okay, well, because my Sony list is just like my Microsoft list, do y'all have anything for game you would recommend or game of the year for Sony?
I would say for PlayStation, because I got to remember my dates, because a lot of this stuff was like late last year. Okay. Let me see, because there's one game in particular I want to call out, and I want to make sure that it did come out this year.
Which one is it?
Freaking Horizon Call of the Mountain. Yeah, that had to come out this year. Yeah,
it came out this year.
Yeah. So that would be the one I would call for this year, solely because I mean, hell, Sony had nothing else. But outside of that, I mean, Call of the Mountain is a good game, especially it's a good game to showcase the PSVR 2. It's not going to be like the super deep lore-driven game, which VR games shouldn't be that way, because I mean, you being strapped with something to your face like that for a long period of time, nausea, wear on your eyes is not good. Something short and sweet and to the point. That one I would say is my go-to as far as like game of the year for PlayStation. If I had to do a sleeper, it would definitely be the Moss book series, because they finally got released on PSVR 2. They got re-released because they initially came out on PSVR. But re-released on the VR2 series. And then like my trash, I don't really have one for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything for this one.
All right, Andre, what about you, man?
I mean, honestly, not much. Only thing I could recommend for PlayStation, because that was the most competent version of the game, was Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
And that's because my brother has it, and I was watching him play it. And it looked decent enough, so I could recommend that
one. Yeah, I'm saying, like, once it does have its issues, but it's not like I didn't see everything that they saw that other people were saying, so I don't know, because some glitches happen because you trigger it.
Because you trigger it,
yeah. And so I don't know if people were actually trying to trigger stuff or whatever. That's my thing, but yeah, I can see that. All right, people. So leave a comment. Let us know what you guys thought about the first half of the year so far. So we got the second half of the year. Is there anything that you are looking forward to for the second half of the year? Now, Nintendo put a lot of stuff out with that last Direct that I thought they weren't supposed to have nothing, but they put a lot of stuff out. A lot of stuff that I got to actually go back and actually get the correct dates for, because we basically got 2 Mario Brothers games dropping.
Right.
And yeah, Batinkados is dropping. Batinkados 1 and 2 is dropping. Sea of Stars is dropping. We got Mortal Kombat 1 dropping. Dragon Quest Infinity Strash is dropping. Like, this is stuff that's not to mention Pikmin 4 and the Disney Illusion Island that's dropping. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff dropping across pretty much every system. Not to mention Starfield, and there's a lot of stuff dropping. So, is there anything that you're looking forward to that's like I'm probably gonna pick this up because I got to play it, and it could be for whatever system.
Well, okay, so Super Mario Wonder is obvious.
Yeah.
The Princess Peach game, obvious. Um, Starfield, I'm looking into. It depends on how it drops. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't trust Bethesda.
Not at all.
You shouldn't, as you shouldn't.
You got every right not to trust them.
They going for 1,000 playing this with what they could have achieved with 250.
Exactly.
I don't know why they needed 1,000.
to try to say they're better than No Man's Sky.
That's not hard to do.
That could have been done. That could have been done on a single planet with attention to detail, like Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom already proved.
Right.
I mean, that ain't a good excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's damn near anything on Nintendo right now. I'm just looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
They just got too much stuff coming that I can't prepare for.
And back to back, and it's not like I know they're trying to
on
like space
top
it out,
of each other,
but they can't space it out.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to space it out. Yes.
Like I want Sonic Superstars, but that's 3 days before Super Mario Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
3 days. And the games are the same type of game.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they are.
It's like Nintendo was saying, it was like, yo, we're going to do this. We're going to drop them within a week of each other, and we're going to confuse everybody.
Yep.
Basically.
Like, God damn, why y'all do this?
Basically. So, yeah, I completely concur with that.
I got a lot of them, dude. Like, I got way too many.
That list is too damn long.
Yeah. I got way too many because between Pikmin 4 that's coming out, you got Mario Wonder, Oxenfree 2 is coming out. So if you haven't played Oxenfree,
I think that's August, ain't it?
No, that's July.
July, yeah.
So Oxenfree coming out. Whenever they want to give a date for Deca Police, that one
because that's supposed to be second half.
Supposed to be, and then Spider-Man 2.
I completely forgot about that.
Exactly. Yeah. Spider-Man 2 is a thing. It's coming out in October. I have to remember the name of it, but I know it's Colin Kaepernick's game. But he's dropping a football.
Oh, you talking about the NFL arcade game? I can't remember the name of it.
Yep, because it's like NFL Street Style. That just popped up out of nowhere.
And that's October. Yeah, you're right. That's October.
That's in October. What else? I mean, I always have to look the date of with 2K. So we'll see with 2K24. Mortal Kombat 1. What else? I'm looking at this list now. Forza Motorsport. I want to get into that. And that I'm gonna just stop it there because honestly, I could probably call off a little bit more. But honestly, and then Star Ocean. Like that typically, like I said, even though I mentioned I don't have the type of time, that looks like a game I'll make time for. And then also WarioWare movie. Like that, I'm always a sucker.
Well, WarioWare is mini games. You can knock that out.
Yeah, that's a family thing. And then Mario RPG. Just to get back in there.
Yeah, because like with me, it's Mario RPG, Batting Kados 1 and 2, because I never played 2.
Right.
I beat 1, but I never played 2, and that's coming together. So I'm like, that one. I already got Mortal Kombat 1 pre-ordered. I already got Mario RPG pre-ordered.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get Spider-Man, but I'm like, I'll just wait. Because at this point, I'm looking at probably close to like $300 or $400 off games that that I'm trying that's on my list.
Wow,
of stuff to get. Not to mention like that Dragon Quest Infinity Strash. I like that anime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, they made an action RPG. I'm like, this might actually be fun. That's why I actually would like a demo of that one, just to see.
Right.
But yeah, like stuff that already got pre-ordered was like Mortal Kombat and Super Mario RPG, especially with that latest trailer they did for Mortal Kombat where they showed Return to Rain and all of them. The Lin Kuei trailer.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm so glad I pre-ordered that because they brought them boys back.
Mm-hmm.
So Oh yeah, and we got the Metal Gear collection, the Batman Arkham collection.
It's a full year.
Yeah.
Full year.
And most of this stuff is because of the pandemic. Because I'm betting a lot of this stuff would have came out back in 2020 and 2021 had the pandemic not hit.
Right.
And stalled stuff.
Part of me though thinks that might have been a good thing because if there's anything to go by with all the trash games that have been released, that might have been a good thing.
Yeah, it might have been.
At least for gaming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, because that Star Ocean remake is probably going to get bought as well. Well, I know it's going to get bought. Because I know people have been saying that that's not a good one, but I'm like, I don't remember playing this one, but I thought the early ones were good. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot though, because it looks fun. Plus HD 2D. Y'all know about me and HD 2D. So I'm gonna give it a shot. But yeah, September and October is gonna be rough because a lot of stuff is dropping.
Yeah.
September and October. That's gonna be one of those ones where like I think a lot of these games probably get bought in that Christmas holiday rush.
Mm-hmm.
So
catch them on Black Friday during the discount,
or right after Christmas when they do that massive discount.
I'm just waiting for Nintendo in mid-September to go ahead and drop a direct and then just release Metroid Prime 2 Echo.
Man, if they do that, I'm gonna be like, man, y'all don't love me. Y'all don't love me, and y'all don't respect my checking account. Y'all don't respect my checking account. Y'all really don't respect my checking account if they do that. If they do that, they don't respect my checking account. Straight up. They just don't.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't show that they don't respect nobody's checking account right now. They just slapped them, put them out on the curb, and drove off.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Because I'll be the first one to tell you I will be picking up that. If they do 2 and 3, I'll get both of them.
Wow.
Because Corruption's my favorite. I don't hate Echoes. I just don't like it to the end. I like it when you get to the end. Like that's my only thing with Echoes. Like Corruption though is probably my favorite one. If I had a choice out of it. But yeah, the second half. So y'all let us know what y'all looking forward to in the second half of the year, because like I said, Batten Kaitos is probably going to be the one that's going to be the day one,
right.
as well as Mortal Kombat and Super Mario RPG, only because I already got Super Mario RPG and Mortal Kombat already pre-ordered. So
right.
Star Ocean 2, I might actually get the physical copy of that. I might go physical with that one. I like to go half and half with my physicals and stuff on Switch. So
gotcha.
Yeah, but the Metal Gear, the only thing I don't like is I don't think we're getting Twin Snakes from GameCube.
Probably not.
No, we're not. We're not.
That hurt my feelings a little bit.
In that trailer, they definitely showed the PS1 version of Metal Gear Solid. I was like, y'all.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. Well, that's probably not getting bought.
And I get why they did it, because they putting it on other platforms too. If it was just exclusive to the Switch, then they probably would have done Twin Snakes.
I mean, well, hey, hold on now. If everybody else can get freaking Soul Calibur 2 online except for us, we ain't gonna get freaking down Twin Snakes. God dang it!
Right.
I mean, look, that makes sense to me and you and us. But I'm just saying, business-wise, especially because Twin Snakes had all the memorabilia for Nintendo stuff in it. And I doubt they want to take the time to go pluck those things out.
That's true. Yeah,
right.
that is true. That is true. Trinell, as far as getting a Pyro Mithra Amiibo pack, try Best Buy, because that's how I got mine pre-ordered. You might want to try Best Buy because they had some. Just to let you know, if you're still trying to find Pyro Mithra Amiibo. Okay, so before we get out of here, I do want to ask you guys a question. Did you see Sakurai's Kid Icarus video?
I saw the thumbnail for it, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I saw a thumbnail, but I did not see the video.
Okay, so I watched it, and he goes into, why they had the reason why the game was the way it was. And So the question has become, should there be a Switch port or should there be a sequel?
My answer?
I
Yeah,
was a
your answer.
sequel.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Both. Okay.
Dang.
Obviously, a Switch port of Uprising. One, because the resources are already developed,
Yeah.
and it gives people a taste for the game, and then a further sequel after that, because you know if it drops, it's going to do well since everybody's running their mouth about it, so it's going to
Yeah.
sell.
Exactly.
Well, the other thing too is
To,
like you can
to
actually
qualify for a second.
they can actually do the control scheme like it was supposed to be, like with the motion controls, like they wanted to initially, because it's supposed to be for the Wii, and then they had to put it to the 3DS. So I'm like, I can see that working better. But that online was great.
Yeah, it was. But they can still include the 3DS play style, implement the play style they wanted to, and do a twin stick one for the people that want that.
Yeah, because
So
that's what they
they
did
have
for
multiple options for play.
Yeah, and they could probably even throw the GameCube in there, knowing them.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think I would like to see both, because Kid Icarus Uprising was a very good game. It was a very good game. I the only chapter I had a problem with was chapter 23, and the only reason I remember that because that chapter was long as hell, and my hand was hurting. My hand was hurting after that because it was just long.
Yeah,
like, that was a long. Most of those chapters in that game are bite sized. That chapter, we have to run that gauntlet.
Yeah,
that took forever, and then on top of that, like it kept amping up the more parts. It kind of reminded me of that part in Kingdom Hearts 2 where you at Hollow Bastion, you have to fight off the 1,000.
Yeah, where they just keep coming over and over again. Yeah,
but you, instead of having actual control in your hand, you actually have to use a stylus, and you have to stay there for 30 minutes. That doesn't hurt.
Yes, it does.
Ooh, Chanel, man, my bad then, because I was able to get mine on Best Buy.
Oh, wow.
I guess I got lucky. But yeah, if they could do the motion control like they want to, and then add the twin stick part or whatever they need to, I think people would actually, well, one, that'll take care of the complaints that people had about it being uncomfortable, because the story itself was good. And the other thing too is, while I understand the bento box thing for the upgrades, they kind of need to do away with that. Because that was the thing that, like, I think Sakurai was in a weird phase, because he did that on Brawl, where he had to get your characters on the Subspace Emissary powered up, you had to use the bottom of the trophy to add stickers to.
Oh yeah,
you're
right.
And I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Right.
Come on, man. So if they can find a different way to do that, that'd be ecstatic. But I will say this: that online does not need to be touched.
It really doesn't.
That Kid Icarus Uprising online does not need to be touched, because people were playing that up until, I stopped playing it last year, and people were still playing online in Uprising last year. So
yeah,
testament to them, because it was just a fun online. It's just a fun experience. So I would love to see them do both. I like the fact that they had the game like voice acting, because they had fun with that too. So yeah, I am on the Kid Icarus bandwagon for that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, playing the game, it was one that made me go get the Circle Pad Pro. Plus, there were other games that used it. It wasn't a lot, but other games did use it. But definitely the fact that, you made the game, people still liked it, even though it was an uncomfortable game to play, should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of teams that can actually pull that off. Like,
true.
You got Panic Button, Grizo, Saber Interactive. They're port masters, dude. So I don't see them having an issue porting that if they wanted to port it. Now watch they port it to like the next one.
For sure, be their day one.
Yeah, be their day one. Like, hey, you remember y'all?
They'll port it as cross-platform. or cross gen.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, but I would
Like,
love
y'all
to see a
wanted it.
sequel as well, though.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. And if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Sakurai's channel, he breaks down a lot of stuff.
He really do.
It's a very well done channel, and most of his videos are like below 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're quick watches, and he actually just breaks down. Like if he was teaching a class, I would not mind being in that class because the way he breaks it down, it's like it's simple to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like his thought process and how he does stuff when he's creating video games. So if you haven't had a chance, like check his channel out. I think it'll be worth your time, especially if you're a fan of games. So
right
there is that. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode of the Wingin It podcast. Thank you for everybody coming through. We really do appreciate it. Jack, anything you want to pimp out?
Nothing really, man. Got some stuff coming down the pipeline pretty soon from both the music and gaming front. Just from a gaming standpoint, just kind of giving my opinion pieces on some things that's been floating around. I'm not going to touch on anything with this FTC crap, but when it comes down to games coming up and like some interesting games, I feel like people should pick up because I like what we did here today of like, okay, hey, this is what, going into the holidays. Definitely when we're in the big sales this time around too, because I think Target's having sales for Nintendo games and they're taking like a hefty percentage off of it. And for another game that released before and it didn't release this year, It Takes Two is like $8 for the Switch at Target right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a game I had on PlayStation, but nonetheless, I mean, it's a easy pickup if you had two people to play. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I'll be doing more of that, and then me and TJ, and then I'll be reaching out to some other people for some music. But yeah, that's about it, man.
All right, Andre.
Well, I mean, I'm still going strong from boy Sean, trying to get him a Street Fighter 6. Look, they stole a good deal of my ideas. They can steal this.
Yes.
I got a feeling Sean will be in the next Smash Bros. Before he'll be in the Street Fighter game, dude. I'm sorry. And Sakurai do it just to be petty.
No, he ain't gonna. If that were the case, I would praise that man to the day he died. But I doubt Sean will end up in the next Smash because he has to be popular enough, and he needs representation in his own game first before that can happen.
Right.
That's true. That is true. Now watch it happens.
Oh, for sure. It's gonna happen now.
Now watch it happens.
Oh, just to be spiteful.
Just to be spiteful.
Andre said it ain't gonna happen. Make it happen.
Bet. Challenge accepted.
Exactly.
But yeah, anything else?
I mean, the only other thing is right this moment is I'm trying to finish up this damn word search book because Amazon didn't want me to publish it because my stuff went over their borders. I have to fix it.
Oh.
But it'll be done by the end of the week, so that'll be out.
Okay, cool. All right. Like I said earlier today, there is a gameplay for Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie, the opening of the game. It's the 2-hour opening. It was a Let's Do This Quietly, so I'm not speaking on it. So check that out when you have a chance. Let me know what you think about the game. Also did a couple of fresh takes. One with Trey Vito on Saturday night for Kizazi Moto that is now on Disney Plus. It's an anthology series. Check that out when you have a chance, as well as me and Vicky did a fresh take this morning for Secret Invasion Episode 3 on Disney Plus as well. So check those videos out when you have a chance. The audio versions will be up either after this podcast or tomorrow sometime. Just depends on how fast I can get it in on the Spotify channel. So just be on the lookout for that. Other than that, I don't really have anything. I'm gonna try to get my schedule kind of inconsistent. I was doing good until I had that vacation where I had to leave for a week, and I have just not been able to get stuff like I want to. But I'm hoping I can get that back in some kind of order soon. So I'm gonna try to make sure to live stream on Fridays and Saturdays. So that's gonna be my 2 days for live streaming. And we'll go from there as far as everything else. So thank you guys. Once again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends and family and everything. And we'll see you guys next week on the next episode of the Wingin' It Podcast. Peace out, people.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.